Hello again from my front porch. Don't worry about fixing your screen. There's nothing wrong with your video monitor or anything. Yes, indeed, I did shave. See how it shines in the sunlight? Yeah, the year of the beard came to an end. Yeah, and I decided that I was ready to get rid of it for a variety of different reasons. And I will remind you, when I first started growing it, I said, I'll keep it around for a while, we'll see. But if it ever gets to a point where it's more of a hassle to maintain than anything else, I'm lazy. I'll just get rid of it. And ultimately, that is kind of what it turned out to be. But yeah, I'll be among those who will confess that it did sort of grow on me. Dad pun intended. But I started it a year ago, last October, actually. I mean, I tell everybody I grew it for No Shave November, which technically is true. What I actually did was I started growing it in October. We were filming some training videos for my company, and I was going to be in at least one of them. And I wanted to look a little more rugged, a little rougher, and so I wanted some stubble on my face. And so I grew the stubble out for that purpose. And then I just didn't shave it. I just let it keep going because by that point, we're in October. By that point, we're approaching November, and I'm like, you know what? I'll try the No Shave November thing. So I kind of got a little head start on the No Shave November, but that was my justification, my reasoning for letting it grow out. I honestly thought at the end of November I would shave it off because I thought people would just be like, get rid of that thing. But to my surprise, a lot of people said they really liked the look. And in fact, some of you now will probably see me back to this look and go, oh, Paul, no, you need that beard. You look so much better with it. Well, that may be true from some perspectives. But these guys are like, hey, we don't care. We think you look great with no hair at all because they're kind of biased. but the realities were, first of all, I was increasingly noticing that the sides especially were getting itchy. I sometimes felt like I was a dog with fleas sitting doing like this all the time. And then there was whiskers in the mustache area that one or two would just get down. They'd be on my lip or they'd be in the way. And it was always annoying. I always felt like I was trying. You say, well, you got to trim that down. I did. But you see, I used to have a mustache. I had a mustache for 30 years. And I don't remember it being that big a deal. But that's because all I was focused on was trimming the mustache. And I could trim that stuff up and out of the way and it looked okay. But when you're trying to maintain an entire beard look with the mustache, you got to be careful about where you're thinning stuff out in the mustache area or where you're squaring things off because it's still got to look like it belongs with everything else. And so that was part of the issue that I ran into. That same thing also impacted, there was hairs right along here, right in these spots here along the side of the mouth, that if I was teaching, if I was presenting at a conference, if I was singing national anthem, karaoke, whatever, it always felt like these hairs, no matter what I did to try to keep them out of the way, they were always trying to get to my mouth. They're always rubbing, and I was just like always doing this or felt like I was doing this. It was just really annoying. And then even just basic things like, I'm sitting doing something and you want to just put your hand, your chin in your hand like this. And I would do that and it wasn't comfortable because the hairs of because I tried to keep it short. I tried to keep it very professional, but that also meant I ran the risk of having, when I pushed the hair back against myself, it was kind of spiky in some spots. And so that I couldn't even do stuff like that. It wasn't comfortable. And so it got to the point where, okay, I get that a lot of people think it looks good, but I just want my face back. Also, it's my understanding that not all women like kissing a guy with facial hair. I'm not going to bother you how I know that. But that may have also been a factor too. But seriously, I'm okay with my face. I'm okay with how I look. Now, it's possible that I might go on for a period of time and be like, you know what? I kind of miss that look or whatever. But another detail about having the beard. last December, I was asked to play Santa Claus at a Christmas party, maybe a couple of them, I don't remember now off the top of my head. But I enjoy doing that. I've been doing that for several years, different things, some Filipino group stuff and some other things. I enjoy that. But the problem was this last December, I had a lot of trouble with the Santa beard because I couldn't get it to stick properly to my face because of my own facial hair. And so people say, well, you should let your beard grow and there could just be Santa. But I don't want that kind of beard. I don't want a big old Santa Claus beard for myself. That was never the goal and never a desire of mine. But so now I've been asked again to play Santa at least one event this coming December. There might be more that pop up. But, you know, having my face shaved clean will mean I'll be able to wear the beard correctly. I'll look better. This beard will stay in place and won't ruin the fantasy, the illusion. And so, you know, that, to me, that is another big reason, another big deal. So, there you go. Hair today, gone tomorrow. But the year of the beard was an interesting experiment, and what I have shown is if I do decide that it was a good look and I should bring it back, well, now we know in a fairly short period of time I can grow that thing out. It's nice and full. In fact, the lady who cuts my hair told me a couple of different times that I had the kind of beard a lot of guys envy because I didn't have to put anything on it. I wasn't oiling it down or whatever cream or whatever stuff they do, try to get their whiskers to lay flat. It just laid where it was. I didn't have to do anything to primp it to try to fill it out. It grew in full and complete and even. And she said that there are guys who would pay big money to be able to have a beard like I've just now gotten rid of. So what we do know is if I decide I want it back, I can get it back fairly easily. But for right now, and at least through December when I play Santa Claus, this is going to be the look for sure, and probably from then on. But anyway, I just had to share with you that this happened. You know, you can relive the fond memories of the beard if you wish. Myself, I'm enjoying getting back to au naturel, Paul. And with that, I'm going to let y'all go, and I'll see you next time from my front porch.